let's talk about posing. I figured I'd do this, and I was also going to talk about some of the good language that a photographer can have with a model that'll build positive environment and confidence versus one that's going to create kind of a weird, you can't define why things aren't flowing. So first of all, when a model shows up at a shoot, it's really good to have followed up in the morning. Hey, I'm excited or looking forward to the shoot. Maybe send a picture of the set to show you're prepared and ready for her, so she knows that you're warm and inviting and it's a safe place. She's probably already thinking that, but it never hurts to go that little extra step just to get that much better energy. Having water and maybe some crackers and a little bit of chocolate as a snack there is never a bad thing either. And if it's a long day, maybe asking her if there's any sort of little simple snack she might want. I'm a huge fan of 5-hour energy if it's a longer day, or if it's a shorter day. I'm like, score. I love that stuff. It keeps me on point and like engines vroom, ready to go. So I would say that that's a big one. Also, when she shows up, if you're capable, because I have a few photographers who do have disabilities and stuff, and in that case you'll want to have told her in advance so she knows what she's walking into. But if you have any sort of disability or you struggle carrying things or anything, probably shoot that over in a text messenger. Don't try and blow up her phone calling her. That's everything in text is really the most calmest, best way for people to receive things. But if you text her and let her know, hey, I want to come out and greet you, text me when you're here, but I maybe have a knee problem, or I have a situation with my back or something, then at least she knows and she's prepared for that. But if you are super okay and there is nothing wrong with you, when she shows up, you should be showered. Yeah, I shouldn't have to say that, but a lot of these guys, you'll show up, and I mean, I have actually had it where I've gotten to a shoot and the shoot was at his home. He had a home studio. There is nothing wrong with that. I totally love that. I think it's wonderful. It gives you such a variety of options, and it's in the warmth and comfort of your own house. And you can also think well in advance how you want to set things up and be that much more ready, which is amazing. I love efficiency and productivity and planning. But if she shows up and you're like, let me jump in the shower, or you didn't do that beforehand, it's kind of awkward. I've had that happen on several occasions, and I'll admit, I mean, I have some friends who are probably maybe going to listen to this and they're going to be like, hey, I did that once. But I have some people that I'll text them and I'll be like, hey, I'm showing up early, is that okay? Otherwise I have to drive all the way back one way and then all the way another. So I did surprise him. That's a whole different thing. But like, if you show up and you get in the shower, like, first of all, that is on her time. She should be compensated while she's waiting there for you to be prepared. But next of all, like, that's weird. Like, that's just weird. So I don't recommend that. Be ready to go. Come down, greet her, be nice, shake her hand. If she offers a hug, give her a hug. Help her with her bags, ask her how her trip was. She should, might be a little bit stressed. GPS is a little bit, wary. She could have driven a while and be in road coma, which is common for me. She might need to use the restroom. So the first thing you'll want to ask is, do you need to use the restroom? Show her where it is. Offer her any water or whatever. And then kind of walk her through the set and show her what you guys are going to do. Even though you've discussed this beforehand, hopefully. And if there's anything that you saw that was kind of a happy excitement, you'll want to kind of say, hey, I noticed this light was hitting a different way in this room, or I didn't think of this shot, and then I was on, social media site earlier today and I saw it and it inspired me. What do you think? And also looking through her bag, you might see something and it might inspire an idea, or she might have some. Have a general plan of what you're going to shoot. Be ready for that. Know how you're going to execute it, and if you don't, tell her all of that. I work from people who are super professional, ridiculous, to brand new. I have had them email me and say, I got my camera, it is still in the box, I'm going to bring it to you, can we shoot? And I had to say, make sure you open it and charge the batteries, and do you have your memory stick? And we've started from there. So I have no judgment about that at all. In that case, I knew what the goal was. The goal was to get practice, understand what the lens will do, what that camera is going to do, and just getting comfortable in a situation. So anyways, when a model shows up, these are things that you want to do. You want to, make sure you text her before, show her that you're ready for her, snacks and water, you know, show her to the bathroom and help her carry her things up. And if you're not capable of that, communicating that with her, it's no problem. And any obstacles you might have too, you're going to want to share with her, because that's going to put her at ease. It just makes you human. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. People like to help. It is okay. This is a wonderful community, and this should be really fun. So next of all, when you are shooting with a model, you're going to want to work on positive momentum. When she gets on set, you want her to feel good about herself. The best thing is to have watched her, well, looked at her work in advance first of all, and seen the kind of poses and what her body type is and what looks like it's kind of her way of movements, and not trying to turn someone who's maybe more curvy into something that would be like a ballet dancer. And the reason why I say that is because I have shown up to shoots before, and all of the poses they show me that they last minute decided on, because we'd have discussed other stuff, will be poses that my body just doesn't do. You know, I know what my strengths are and I know what my weaknesses are, but it's no different than having a girl with maybe a smaller chest trying to have the side boob cleavage of a girl with a bigger chest. You know, some girls have big butts, other girls don't have big butts, some girls have curves, other ones, you know, have a six-pack. So everybody is really unique, and having a realistic expectation of what one type of body is going to have is super important, and that can really just crumble a shoot if someone's asking for poses that you know are not your strength, or that you just don't feel well in or good in. So for me, like when I'm shooting somebody who's new or experienced, I watch their movement right when they come in the door. I looked at kind of some pictures I've seen, or if they don't have any pictures, you've had to have interacted with them somehow. So I've looked at them, you know, and just gotten an idea of what I have to work with, and then I check out the angles. Like if they're a little bit heavier in the bottom, I know I'm going to kind of want to shoot them more shooting down to bring out the eyes, the lips, and the boobs. And I'm going to want to kind of drop this stuff down into the shadows. If they've got a great midsection, I'm going to want to kind of shoot them more even. There's just a lot of tricks to flatter the body, so it's my job to do that. When they're posing though, you want to create a flow. It's digital nowadays. We're not film anymore, which is awesome because you can turn the music on, which I would allow her to pick. And if it's a really annoying music for you, just have her turn it down enough. There should be a good energy between the two, or maybe you might want to suggest a couple stations you like, and if she kind of winces at some, don't go for it. But kind of background music kind of creates a little bit of more comfort, and it's nice. And I usually pick something upbeat, but if they want something that's more emotional posing, then I'll switch to, you know, something that maybe is a little bit more emotional for me to listen to. So it just kind of depends. And then when she's up and she's going into poses, you want to be positive. Don't tell her to smile. Don't tell her to go ah. Don't, you know, that's not you. If you hired this girl, that's not your job to do that. Like if you need more expressions, just say, you know, can I see some more expressions, or can you give me a different mood? You can ask for that, and she's going to give you different expressions for it. If you like a certain thing that she does, just be like, do that again, that was awesome. Or show it to me again. Don't go, oh yeah, oh Charlie. I mean, I've had people do that, and I'm a cross between kind of embarrassed and kind of like not sure how to respond. It's kind of awkward, like, did I walk in on a moment I didn't know about? But I mean, I'm excited, it's positive feedback, but I'm just much better with like, you know, hot, awesome, gorgeous, more of that, yes. Like that type of stuff is really good. And if I'm off track, or if I'm out of the light, which that's another key point, when you put a set together, you're going to want to point out what the key light is, or if it's balanced lighting, and then you're going to want to probably snap a picture and show it to her so she knows how to pose for that. Because if she has a true visual of what you're seeing on the other side, it's going to make her model that much more better for you. Also, don't over direct. That is so annoying, and it just kills the flow. Like if you're like elbow out a little more, okay, no, I don't like that. Like that, oh my gosh, that's painful. That's like as painful as going to the dentist. So, you know, you want to be more like, you know, lean forward, oh, gorgeous, yes, you know, can you, squeeze your, squeeze together, hug yourself, you know, turn, if it's somebody who doesn't have experience. If it's someone who does have experience and you're just not quite getting what you want out of her, then you just got to define it, you know, can I have some different emotions, can you turn, you know, can we do some side shots? But chances are, if you've discussed in advance and she's a polished model, you kind of just got to let her go and expect the first set to be a little bit of a warm-up for you both. You're kind of getting acquainted. It's kind of like when you're exercising, you just kind of have to get that first outfit out of the way, and then things just start to, you know, flow. But you want things to be positive. Also, if she's in a pose, and I'm going to give an example of this. If she's in a pose and say she has like scrunchy, I have to like turn scrunchy right there, rather than saying like, oh, you know, you have a roll, tell her to stretch. You know, can you stretch tall? Stretch, stretch. So, and it pulls it right out. So like positive language. Another one is if she's at you and she's like pelvic forward, she's going to look a little heavier. The camera's three-dimensional, so big thing to remember is everything that goes away from the camera looks smaller. So eyes closer, the rest of you away, smaller. And the same with the arms. If she has big arms, roll the shoulders back, kick the elbows back. So just a few tips that I have, just keeping it positive, dancing with your model, not trying to contrive her or turn her into something you expected her to be, allowing her to be something expected and a happy surprise for you on the stuff she knows how to do, and developing that trust in that relationship and complimenting what's working. If she's not smiling enough, telling her to smile makes her feel more judged. So worry about your side and be more supportive and excited about what she is giving you, and give her positive feedback, and she will start smiling and relaxing and joking with you a lot more. Because we are human on this side. We do feel not perfect all the time. Trust me. So when it might come across that maybe we're snotty or full of ourselves or we think we're great, but that's not really it. We're actually a little more shy and we're wanting to be better for you, and we want to not look gross and old and fat and things like that. So that's kind of really more what the thought process is on our side when we're going. And we want to also be recognized as who we are, but we shouldn't have to boss you around either. I mean, like, that's definitely not okay. It's a both thing. If she's walking on you, that's not cool. So, but, you know, just building each other up, you know, awesome, yes, oh, do that again, you know, gorgeous, do you want to see these? Check that out. I loved when you did this. See why? Or if something's not working, like she's not getting the lighting, she's not understanding it, flip the camera around and show her and say, okay, so like, here's what's up. I'm seeing this and this. What do you think? And she'll jump back in and she'll be like, oh, you're right. Or like me, some days I'll have expressions that just aren't working. And if the guy shows me, he doesn't even have to tell me. He can just show me and I'll look and I'll be like, ooh, why did I keep making that face? So I'll fix it. Or maybe I look grouchy and I didn't realize it. I thought it was sexy. There's a fine line between a sexy eye and a tired eye. So you need to be able to kind of show her, and that is where digital is so awesome. I love it. So anyways, I hope this is helpful. If there's any questions or anything you want advice on with posing, feel free to write below. I love it. I love the feedback. I like the topics. I can do a whole conversation on wardrobe as well for body type. I think that that's a big one too. Sometimes girls have fat days, and sometimes we're like, heck yeah, we're owning it. So I hope this helps. Leave your comments below, and thank you so much for watching.